Viewers, we're just months away from the crucial Bihar elections, and this will be the first clash between the NDA and the India Bloc since the Delhi elections. We're seeing Rahul Gandhi and Yadavs, who are, of course, in the thick of their election campaign as they trumpet the vote Chori narrative in their bid to corner the NDA. On the other hand, the NDA is backing on the goodwill of PM Modi and the double-engine model of governance and development. But who has the edge in Bihar, and who's ahead in the run-up to the Bihar polls? Times Now gets you an exclusive sneak peek in association with pollster JVC Sriram. We'll get you the trailer before the main picture on the JVC poll. Let's quickly recap what we've already put out at 9 p.m. Viewers, this is what we're talking in terms of seats. This is, of course, the details of the JVC poll, the sample size of 63,419. Male 34,560, female 28,859. This is the duration of July 7 to August 18th, and the method is in person. This is as far as the methodology is concerned. Let's quickly take a look at the numbers that we're talking about in terms of breakup. Projected seats, if there was an election to be held today, is at NDA 136, MGB at 75 seats, others at 6 seats. The total, of course, at 243 there. And, of course, the battleground seats, where a pitch battle is being fought, is at 26. Remember that there's a similar number of seats through which the yatra is taking place as far as MGB is concerned. But even if they do get that, the total number in terms of the seats are in favor of the NDA. Now, who, if MGB wins, should be the Chief Ministers? One of the questions that we asked earlier, and we put out the results. 45.9 says Tejasvi Yadav. Allies must decide, say 36.9, and not from the Lalu clan is 17.2%. Let's quickly take a look at another number that we're talking about, and this is whether the vote Chori claims are genuine. Yes, say 32%. No, say 59%. Very, very significant. If this number is true, then clearly the vote Chori narrative has not yet found many takers in Bihar. And that really, of course, is what we're talking about in terms of the issues also. Look at the way issues are actually panning out. The topmost issue on the minds of voters is law and order as far as this survey is concerned. It's 26.9% who feel that the biggest issue in Bihar is law and order. Caste census then comes second at 23.5%. And this is something that could help the MGB. Unemployment, another big factor at 21.2% here. Operation Sindoor, very significant at 14.4%. Vote Chori at 14%. This is, of course, the breakdown of the 5 big issues as far as this particular survey is concerned. Let's now get you details of how this really has worked out region-wise and what the significance is for each region. Who is dominating which region is significant? Now, we're talking about the Tirhut region, where the NDA is between 33 and 36. MGB between 13 to 16. Significance is that it borders Nepal, comprises of East and West Champaran districts. We're talking about the Simanchal region, where NDA here is being beaten by the NGB. We're talking about 8 to 11 seats, MGB at 11 to 12. Significance: large population of minorities in many of the districts in this particular region. Also deals with the annual displacement of people due to floods. So that is another significant factor. Magad, another important region where the NDA is from 22 to 25, slender majority over here for the MGB between 23 to 29. Significance is that on the 22nd of August, PM Modi launched crucial projects in Magad. Mithilanchal is, of course, where the NDA has a clear lead, 30 to 32 seats here, MGB 11 to 12. Significance here is that a region which is home to large number of Brahmins, upper caste therefore having a significant say, consists of communities that largely back BJP and Nitish Kumar. Bhojpur is the other region we're talking about, where here again NDA appears to have the advantage, 24 to 31 for NDA, MGB 23 to 28. Significance: Bhojpuri cinema stars hold significant influence over here. And of course, Anga, the other part that we're talking about, NDA at 14 to 15 where MGB has 9 to 10. Significance is that the Prime Minister has also launched key infrastructure projects here this August. Now, this is as far as the region is concerned. But what are the communities really thinking? That is where it could ultimately break down, and actually it's important to be decoded. This is where the EBC vote becomes significant, because it's perhaps the most significant at about 35% of the vote, if I'm not mistaken. We'll go across to our experts for that. NDA getting 60% of those votes, MGB at 24%, Jan Suraj at 7%, others at 9%. Upper caste, again NDA, 60% of the vote there, 17% MGB, Jan Suraj 22%, and 1%. Interesting that Jan Suraj has made this entry at 22%. Non-Yadav OBC, 70% to the NDA, 15% to the MGB, 12% over here as far as Jan Suraj is concerned, others at 3%, Paswan 65% NDA, 25% MGB, 7% Jan Suraj, and 3% to others. Let's look at the next set of castes and communities we're talking about. This is very significant because Yadavs, MGB has a clear advantage here at 78%, NDA only getting 15% of those castes, 5% at Jan Suraj, others 2%, Muslims at 5% for NDA, 75% for MGB, Jan Suraj 15%, 5% for others. Let's quickly open this up now and take it across to our panelists. We have Sanju Verma joining us, who's the BJP national spokesperson. With us also is Dr. Anupriya Yadav, JDU spokesperson. Joining us also is Ravi Shankar Ravi, RJD's national spokesperson. Nikhil Jain is a political analyst joining us. But my first question across to JVC Sridham. JVC, what's the big message coming in from the way that communities are voting as far as your survey is concerned? And significant that the EBCs, which form a big chunk of the voters in Bihar, are actually firmly backing the NDA as per your survey. Now, what's the reason behind this, JVC?
Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to my fellow panelists and my viewers. The big message is that, unfortunately for Tejasvi Yadav, he is unable to pull up support other than Muslim and Yadav in some pockets because of the candidates that he is posting. Like, say, he might be putting some Chori candidate or Kurmi candidate or Brahmin candidate or Thakur candidate, he might be getting. But suddenly what we are seeing is, in the last, say, between August 1st and August 17th, we are seeing a lot of traction from the upper caste towards the Jan Suraj. That is something surprising. Another very big surprise is that a lot of seats where CPI-ML and the CPI-M and CPI have a big hold, Jan Suraj is generating a lot of support. This is something which is really surprising, because the youth who would have supported the communist parties are shifting towards the Jan Suraj. And this is something which no other tracker is able to confirm, because I spoke to some other people also. They said, we didn't see it, but we saw it, and our people have reported it, that Jan Suraj is making a huge impact into left bastions.
Okay, let me get in the RJD on that. Ravi Shankar Ravi, you agree with that analysis?
And
Jan Suraj
thing,
making just a second, JVC, I'm going to come to you because this is a very important point. Is Jan Suraj getting the kind of numbers that JVC is talking about in your perception?
Sure.
And is this going to hurt the MGB? Is a question that many are asking, because it is making a dent as far as upper castes are concerned. And if this survey is to be believed, then apart from Muslims and Yadavs in other communities, MGB is going to have quite a struggle. Your view on this, Mr. Ravi?
Vast majority or percentage of people from EBC and upper caste have been the traditional voters of NDA. But I would like to remind the result of the 2020 elections. The total number of votes by which we lost was only 12,000 across a few constituencies. And three factors from this survey are very important: that law and order situation, the caste census, and unemployment. So I think on these planks, and there is still a lot of time. We have at least 2 months, I guess, for the election to take place. The scenario might change. And for vote Chori, I think this is going to be an important issue. It is not being reflected in the data that significantly, because I think the people who are affected, they might not have participated in this kind of survey due to the digital divide. that the issue the people from marginalized section, the uneducated, the semi-literate people face, and they are the most affected by this move. So, we are raising their voice. We are raising the voice of the voiceless.
Okay, you're raising the points of the voiceless. The vote Chori allegation is going to stick. It's a little premature to jump to that conclusion. Sanju Verma, do you agree? Because he's actually comparing the situation of 2025 with that of 2020. Is that a fair comparison, Sanju?
You know, Madhav, first let's get one thing very clear. I think JVC's sample size is pretty decent at more than 63,000 people, and the number of female potential voters that he sampled was close to 29,000. So the first point is, let us not try to dismiss the sample size or the conclusions that have come therefrom. The second point I want to make is, I said this during Haryana elections, I said this during Maharashtra elections, I said this during Delhi elections. Haryana elections ke waqt kaha gaya, oh, you know, the Jats are not with BJP. This is Jats versus non-Jats. Maharashtra elections ke dauran kaha gaya that, you know, OBCs, Dalits and Adivasis are very disillusioned with the BJP. Delhi elections ke time kaha gaya ki jo jhuggi jhopdi wale hain wo BJP ke saath nahi hai. So the limited point I'm making is, ahead of every assembly election, हिंदुओं को बांटने की कोशिश की जाती है, जाट्स वर्सेस नॉन जाट्स, ओबीसीज वर्सेस दलित्स, झुग्गी झोपड़ी वाले वर्सेस those staying in multi stories. The fact of the matter is, finally it will boil down to vikas, something that nobody seems to be taking cognizance of. Don't forget, today we have 3 functional airports in Bihar. Darbhanga, Gayaji and Patna also has a second international terminal. And most importantly, don't forget, you have more than 6 crore people in Bihar who are continuing to get benefits of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. 56 lakh people in Bihar are getting the benefits of free housing under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. There are more than 25 lakh Namo drone Didis from Bihar alone. 6 out of the 9 Amrit Bharat trains either originate from or pass through Bihar. More than 27 of the 144 Vande Bharat trains originate from or pass through Bihar.
Okay.
You have an LPG bottling plant coming up at Gopalganj.
Yeah.
You have 500 crores worth of infrastructure projects coming up at Jamui and Chhapra.
Yeah.
So limited point is, जो विकास मोदी सरकार ने, नीतीश कुमार ने और बीजेपी ने मिलकर,
yeah, you're talking about Vikas. Let's go issue by issue, please. Sanju, my request is let's go issue by issue. Otherwise, you know, this debate will be completely jumbled up. And let me quickly bring in Nikhil as well as our JDU spokesperson, Dr. Anupriya Yadav, as well into this. And let me bring in Nikhil Jain. Nikhil Jain, what do you make of this kind of analysis that JVC has or his survey has as far as the castes are concerned? Because, you know, if vote Chori was really working on ground, and perhaps you can argue that some of the survey or a large part of the survey was done before the allegations really kicked off in terms of the yatras on ground. But it is a fact that the vote Chori issue controversy was very much there when this survey was carried out. Does not at this point of time seem to be having as many takers as Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav would like.
First of all, I'd like to respond with the caveat that I'm working with the assumption that the survey that JVC has carried out is quite accurate, quite fair, and there's nothing wrong in it. I am going to, I'm assuming that. That being said, you feel that the vote Chori narrative is not kicking with the people of Bihar, but I see something very different with the survey. You can't look at the fact that more people are saying a yes vis-a-vis a no. You have to look at the fact that vote Chori, the fact that the Election Commission of India is rigging polls in the favor of a particular political party, is a kind of question where about a year ago you would have had, the respondents say 0%.
Nikhil Jain, you know, it's one thing to say, Nikhil, one second, just one second, Sanju, just 1 second, please. Sanju, 1 second, let's go one by one, please. Nikhil, all I'm trying to say is this. Yes, Rahul Gandhi has pointed out to certain flaws in the voter list. Just calm down, Nikhil. Listen to my question. You have made a very serious charge that EC is rigging the polls. I am just asking you a simple question. Yes, there are issues as far as the voter list is concerned in Mahadevpura. There are certain concerns in Maharashtra, etc., that have been expressed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. does that necessarily prove that EC is rigging the polls or BJP is rigging the polls? How is that proven?
Madhav, had you heard me, had the BJP spokesperson not interjected, I was not even saying that right now. I don't, because we are.
You just said that EC is rigging the polls at the behest of BJP. That's what I'm trying to counter here.
I did. Madhav, you can't keep on interjecting me after every single sentence or after every couple of words that I say.
No, but Nikhil Jain, if you make a statement, then deny that you said it clearly. You have made that statement, which is why there is an interjection in the first place. Now carry on.
Can I please complete the sentence?
Yeah, but then please stand up to the words that you are saying. Don't come out and then counter, do a complete U-turn in 30 seconds.
Let me state it for the record. Madhav, you can't keep on speaking over me. Let me state it for the record. For the duration of this debate, I am not making any allegations on the Election Commission of India. I am not saying that they are rigging the polls or vote chori is correct or not. I am merely interpreting the numbers before you. What I am trying to say is that when voters are asked this question, that do you believe in the narrative of vote chori? Do you believe in this claim? That claim within itself entails a claim, an assertion that the Election Commission is rigging the elections. I am not saying they are rigging it or they are not rigging it. Right now, I don't want to get into that, because then we will deviate from understanding the numbers. What I'm saying is this question is point blank clear. क्या आप मानते हैं कि Election Commission rigging कर रही है? Yes or no? That is the kind of question which until a few months ago would have seen the kind of response. Barely 5-7% people would have said yes. The fact that 32% people are saying yes, 32%, a third of the electorate, that means the narrative is running very well on the ground.
And what about the 59% that's saying no?
Survey was carried out.
What about the 59% that's saying no, Nikhil Jain?
The success of the vote.
This is the most creative interpretation I've seen of any survey, where you are believing the 32% who say yes, but not the 59% who say no.
You have to Madhav, you have to understand. Madhav, you have to understand that in the 2020 Bihar Vidhan Sabha elections, the difference between the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan was only a couple of tens of thousands of votes, or maybe 1 or 2 lakh votes. Every single vote counts. Every single percentage counts.
Of course it counts, sir, but it is nearly twice as many people who are saying no to those who are saying yes. Let me bring in Dr. Anupriya Yadav. Dr. Anupriya Yadav, does this make any sense to you? The argument that Nikhil Jain is putting forth, जो 32% कह रहे हैं कि vote चोरी के claims genuine है, compared to 59% who are saying no. Which is more significant, ma'am? Mathematically speaking, I think this is something that a middle school student would be able to answer.
माधव जी, मैं आपके डिबेट में जितने भी पैनलिस्ट हैं, मैं जानती हूँ कि ऐसे सभी लोग मुझे लगता है कि बिहार से ताल्लुकात नहीं रखते और बिहार में रहते भी नहीं हैं। मैं पटना में रहती हूँ, बिहार में रहती हूँ, मैं जानती हूँ कि अभी बिहार में मुद्दे क्या हैं। ये जरूर कांग्रेस और कांग्रेस के जितने सहयोगी दल है, ये एक रैली निकाल लें, इस तरह की नैरेटिव बना लें, झंडे बैनर लगा लें, पर बिहार में मुद्दे क्या हैं? बिहार में मुद्दा है जो एनडीए की शासन काल रही है, और एनडीए के शासन काल में जिस तरह से हर आयामों पर विकास हुई है, क्योंकि ये बिहार ने देखा है 90 के पहले का दौर कांग्रेस का और 90 के बाद 2005 तक में आरजेडी का शासनकाल। अब जब बिहार के लोग हमारे, क्योंकि हम जेडीयू ने हमारे 2020 में जो हमारा एजेंडा था, जिस प्रॉमिस के साथ में हम बिहार की जनता के साथ गए थे, 7 निश्चय पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2, और हमने प्रॉमिस किया था कि अगर हम आपसे जो वादा करें वो कंप्लीट नहीं करेंगे, हम वोट मांगने नहीं आएंगे। हमारे वादे क्या थे? 100% इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। हमारे वादे यह थे कि हम सड़क की कनेक्टिविटी होगी, स्वास्थ्य की व्यवस्था होगी, सड़क की व्यवस्था होगी। आज बिहार ऐसा राज्य है माधव जी कि एशिया का सबसे सेकंड नंबर, लार्जेस्ट नंबर का जो अस्पताल है वो बिहार की पटना में है, पीएमसीएच। पहला ऐसा एशिया का बड़ा जो पुल है जो गंगा सेतु पर बना हुआ है कि जिसने एक ऐसी कि 2 जिलों की जो दूरी है वो 2 घंटे की कर दी है। बिहार के लोग बखूबी जानते हैं कि बिहार के विकास पे ये चुनाव होने जा रहा है, चाहे वो आप।
बट मैम, बिहार में काफी पुल गिरे भी हैं, विकास की आप दावा कर रहे हैं, बीजेपी भी कर रही है, बट ये भी मुद्दा है, और इस मॉनसून में हमने देखा है क्या क्या हुआ है बिहार में। नेवरदलेस, आई वांट यू टू स्टे विद अस, अनुराधा जी, बिकॉज द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अनुप्रिया जी, आई बेग योर पार्डन, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज रेलेवेंट टू यू. It's what we're talking as far as the appeal of Nitish Kumar and who the biggest chief minister face should be. If it is the NDA who has the chief ministerial candidate, who is it who should be? It is 25.2% Nitish Kumar, but an overwhelming 44.4% say it should be the CM from the party with most seats. There is 20.4% who say that it is a chief minister from BJP. Chirag Paswan at 10%. Very interesting set of numbers. CM from BJP just 5% behind Nitish Kumar, whereas 44%, nearly half the people say that it should be the party that has larger numbers. What do people think about Nitish Kumar himself? Great tenure but tired now 31%. No other tall leader like him 12%. Will remain CM as long as health permits 19%. No time for Nitish to hand over reins 24%. Can't say 14%. So this is a very interesting statistic as well. And you know, Dr. Anupriya Yadav, there are many who believe that it should be the party that gets the most number of seats that should have the chief minister, whether that is the BJP or the JDU. 44%. वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट नंबर मैम।
माधव जी, मुझे लगता है कि देश के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय मोदी जी ने और अमित शाह जी ने और हमारे सहयोगी दल के तमाम नेताओं ने संकल्प लिया है 2025 में 225 और फिर से नीतीश। इट्स वेरी क्लियर मैसेज कि नीतीश है तो निश्चित है, नीतीश है तो बिहार में विकास है। सर्वे बहुत सारे आएंगे, लेकिन बिलीव की बात करेंगे, क्योंकि आप बिहार ऐसा राज्य है ना माधव, जहां पे 35 रिजर्वेशन महिलाओं के लिए है। अदर देन हम कास्ट की बात नहीं करते हैं, हम जाति की बात नहीं करते हैं। 35, अगर बिहार ऐसा राज्य है पूरे देश में जहां महिला पुलिस बल सबसे अव्वल नंबर पे है, बिहार ऐसा राज्य है जहां में जीविका दीदी की हम लोगों ने बातें की, और जीविका जैसे योजनाओं को तो आज देश ने आजीविका के रूप में कई राज्यों ने इसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया है। तो हम प्राउड फील करते हैं कि हम जो कहते हैं वो नजीर पेश और अन्य राज्य इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं। आशा, ममता, लॉट्स ऑफ फीमेल वर्कर्स आर वर्किंग इन द फील्ड, कि जो बिहार की महिलाओं की विकास की जो रेखा है, ये सोच पाना भी किसी के लिए मुमकिन नहीं।
Very quickly, before I come across to Sanju, I want JVC to come in on that point. What is the role that women voters are going to play as far as Nitish's popularity and his continuance as CM is concerned? Very quickly, JVC. Coming to Sanju,
I think women are truly backing Nitish Kumar and BJP. Both women are backing both Nitish Kumar and BJP. Absolutely right. There are a lot of people, see, there are youth who have a different point of view that, you know, we should see a new CM. But to look at the whole thing, JDU and Nitish Kumar is very important for BJP to win the number of seats that it is going to win. Because there are a lot of seats where there is a traffic jam between RJD and BJP. And that is where JDU comes and pushes. This whole talk, see, the survey may say whatever it want to say, but according to me, Nitish Kumar would be the CM candidate.
Okay.
Absolutely no doubt about that.
Okay, he's going to be the CM candidate. Sanju Verma, is there complete unanimity on that? Because there's about nearly half the voters are saying it should be the party that has the largest number of seats, and that the BJP certainly hopes it would be in that position.
You know, I think there's a very interesting data there, Madhav. You know, as per JVC, 44.4% people believe that the winning party should have the CM candidate, and 20.4% people believe it is from the BJP that the CM candidate should be announced. But basically, larger picture kya hai? Matlab 64.8% of the people believe that either it should be from the BJP or from the BJP JDU or from the winning combination. Now the winning combination is BJP, JDU, Chirag Paswan and others. तो तय है कि विनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन से फिलहाल नीतीश कुमार के साथ बीजेपी चुनाव लड़ रही है। और रही बात सीएम कौन बनेंगे, मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ वी विल क्रॉस द ब्रिज व्हेन वी कम टू इट। बट एक महत्वपूर्ण चीज जो मैं कहना चाहती हूँ इज दिस, दैट बिहार हैज 27% ओबीसी and 36% EBCs, मतलब OBC और EBC पॉपुलेशन मिलाकर 63% है। मुझे बताइए माधव, कांग्रेस ने, तेजस्वी यादव ने, या जो डीएमके के एमके स्टालिन आज अपना चेहरा दिखाने आए थे बिहार, इन्होंने पिछले 10-12 सालों में क्या किया है ओबीसी के लिए? प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी इज द फर्स्ट ओबीसी प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया। और कोई भूला नहीं है, साधु यादव, सुभाष यादव और सहाबुद्दीन के रहते लालू यादव ने क्या जंगल राज चलाया था। बिहार की जनता वापस जंगल राज नहीं चाहती।
Jungle Raj, a very big question. We did refer to law and order at the beginning of our survey, but let's quickly get you the next set of graphics, and this is the last set of information that we're putting out at this point of time. Who would benefit from caste census in Bihar? NDA an overwhelming 47.1%, MGB at 37.2%, no impact, say 15.7%. Very interesting to look at the fact that it's NDA benefiting from the caste survey here. Of course, we know that was ensured by the state government. Now, what's your opinion about Prashant Kishore? Of course, Jan Suraj, what is the role it will play? 12.4% say kingmaker, 32.7% say will disrupt Bihar politics, 43.2% say preparing for the next election, will form the government, say 11.6%, very, very optimistic 11.6% of course, but certainly significant that he's going to play a role and will prepare for the next election appears to be the larger view. But let me quickly bring in our panelists on this. Nikhil Jain, it appears that somewhere or the other, you know, the caste politics mantra that Rahul Gandhi has been chanting for the last year and a half, 2 years in Bihar is going to inversely benefit the NDA, of course, because of the state government's actions. Any surprises there, Nikhil?
I'm not. Absolutely, that's a complete surprise to me. We've seen that, you know, I really can't believe these results for the simple reason that Rahul Gandhi, India Alliance and the Congress Party are the ones who've been talking about the caste census and the caste survey for the longest of time. I very clearly remember in April 2024, it was the Prime Minister who said that people who are talking about carrying out a caste census are like urban Naxals, I think he said, or terrorists, he said. Either of the two, he said.
But are you forgetting what the state government has done?
His government announced that we are going to carry out a caste survey.
Pushes fake narratives.
No, but Nikhil, one second. Let's leave all that aside. Nikhil, why is it so surprising? We all know what the Bihar government has said on this and what its position has been. So what's the surprise here really?
No, but when was the caste survey carried out in Bihar, Madhav? The caste survey was carried out in Bihar when it was a government of the JDU and the RJD. It was not a JDU-BJP government. The BJP for the longest of time have maintained that carrying out something like a caste survey or caste census is, you know...
So what has happened? What is the benefit that has accrued?
See the hypocrisy in the BJP's line of argument. 10 minutes ago, Sanju was saying हिंदुओं को बांटने की कोशिश करते हैं. 10 minutes later, she will say OBC इतने हैं, EBC इतने हैं, प्रधानमंत्री OBC हैं, ये EBC है, वो EBC है.
Okay, quick response from Sanju Verma. Quick response. Sanju Verma, very quickly. We have limited time. Quick response, please. Quickly respond.
Affirmative action.
माधव, अरे भाई साहब शांत हो जाओ. मैंने कास्ट सिस्टम क्या है बिहार का उस पर मैंने उल्लेखन किया, पर मैंने ये बार बार दोहराया कि विकास के मुद्दे पर ही जेडीयू, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, चाहे चिराग पासवान हो, हम सब मिलकर विकास के मुद्दे पर जनता से वोट मांग रहे हैं. कास्ट इक्वेशन के बेसिस पर सिर्फ कभी वोट नहीं मांगा जाता है, ये आपको समझना चाहिए. I will just end by saying one thing. I will end by saying one thing. Please, Madhav, there are more than 47,000 BLAs of the RJD. There are more than 17,000 BLAs of the Congress Party. S.I.R के खिलाफ इतना हाहाकार मचाया हुआ है, एक भी कांग्रेस या आरजेडी के बीएलए ने काउंटर क्लेम क्यों फाइल नहीं किया? ढकोसलेबाजी की हद होती है.
Okay, let me bring in. All right, we have very limited time. Ravi Shankar Ravi, I want you to quickly answer a question that Sanju Verma had posed earlier. Is law and order really the big fear? Is that really the big fear amongst the voters? And the survey has also shown that to a large extent that appears to be an issue playing on the minds of the voters of Bihar, and that could prove detrimental to the RJD potentially if this survey is to be believed. Ravi Shankar Ravi.
In the last few years and in last few months, we have seen the deteriorating law and order situation in Bihar. So many cases, Mr. Khamka's case, Mr. Paras Hospital case, and so many others. So law and order situation is in an extremely pathetic situation, and people are going to vote against NDA, and whichsoever party gets whatsoever number of seats. Mr. Nitish Kumar is not
RJD is going to improve law and order.
Chief Minister of Bihar, that is for sure. And we hope
RJD will improve law and order, sir.
Madhav,
sorry.
Madhav, quickly, 10 seconds.
Madhav, अब आरजेडी के प्रवक्ता यहाँ बैठे ये नहीं बता सकते कि उनके लीडर कौन होंगे गठबंधन के, ये बता रहे कि बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री कौन है. बहुत मजाक ऐसा लगता है. और यहाँ बैठे निखिल जी ने कहा कैसा कि आरजेडी और जेडीयू के शासनकाल में हुआ था कास्ट सेंसस, बट उनको बताइए ना कि कांग्रेस कहती है कि यहाँ नीतीश कुमार जी ने वो जो कास्ट सर्वे कराया था वो सही नहीं है. इनको जो इनके लेवल पर सूट करता है इस तरह की पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं, नैरेटिव करते हैं, और ये कई बार अपने हिसाब से एनालिसिस करते हैं. तो नीतीश कुमार की इच्छा शक्ति थी.
अमित शाह जी ने कह दिया था कि बाद में देखेंगे, नीतीश जी नहीं है चीफ मिनिस्टर नेक्स्ट.
नहीं, ठीक है, आप अपने महागठबंधन की चिंता कीजिए, ड्राइविंग सीट पे बैठे
आप अपनी चिंता करिए.
Madhav, if the elections are held in a free and fair manner, we are going to
राहुल गांधी जी ने
Okay, that every political party says. Let's be honest about this. Whichever political party parties before an election and it has a role to play in the state's politics will surely say that. Quick closing comments. JVC, we are completely out of time. Quick closing comments, please. 30 seconds.
So see, Nitish Kumar was the one who commissioned the caste census, and Congress party did not release the caste census. And today BJP and Modi has announced that caste census is part of it. Bihar electorate is the most intelligent electorate. Is more intelligent than Harvard Business School and Stanford University, guys. They know what it is.
All right, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Anupriya Yadav, as well as JVC Sriram, Ravi Shankar Ravi, thank you so much for joining us on this debate. Sanju Verma and Nikhil Jain, stay with us for debate number 2.